here. All right, so we got this right there. All right, what's going on, guys? It's going to be Donnie coming to you from Muza, Japan, Pinku Style Podcast. If you guys have seen the episode, I think it's number 53 or 54 with Mythos Still, Matthew. Matthew mentioned this guy, and this guy who's living in South Africa. South Africa, correct?
Yeah.
That's where you're at?
Yeah.
All right, so he mentioned this guy that lives in South Africa that never been to Japan, and he's very, very good with breaking down Naoki Nakamura's drift techniques and everything. And this is this guy right here. We got Tapiwa, Muza. So he's going to be joining us today. We're going to talk about things a little bit, just get to know him. Not so much Naoki. Naoki, we already know who he is and what he does and everything, but we'll get into how he got that. But guys, again, just make sure you go and like, subscribe, share, and do that for the videos. Make sure they get out there. The more subscribers I get, the better the video. Better videos do, because there's a lot of podcasts out there. But there's also a lot of guys that's not really good content, but I want to get my content out of there. So anyway, without further ado, we got Tapiwa here. So just introduce yourself, man. Again, where you're from in South Africa, and how did you get into the getting to the drift scene and things like that, or start liking drifting?
Okay. Hey guys, yeah, my name is Tapiwanashe Denzel Muza. Those are all of my names, but you can call me Tapiwa or Denzel. People like finding short ways around it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how I got into drifting, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But just like where you're from, like first about a little bit about your home, like how your home, where you're from, and things like that. That way people know where you're from.
Okay. I was born in Zimbabwe, which is the country close to South Africa, right? So I moved to South Africa in 2017, and I've been living in South Africa since then. And it's interesting, living in Africa is something interesting, because I notice people outside Africa have this weird definition of Africa. They usually see videos of this place called Nigeria and, the war zone, DRC, Congo. And to be honest, we know those people, yes, we do have them. But when we see those videos out there, actually like, oh, that's what really happens there. Like, we actually don't know the place that much. Live your whole life without ever going there. So that's the Africa that people know. But then the Africa around here is, I'm sitting in my house. As soon if I look onto the side of my house, there's a road, a full road. I see cars passing, some M3s, BMWs, those type of things, polos. It's that type of thing in Africa. It's interesting. So yeah, that's Africa.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. Because I'm African American, man. So I've never been to Africa before. And, a lot of guys, there's some people that, say things about Africa and they never been there before. I've been, by military, I've been to Iraq and things. So I've been to the Middle East and I've been all around the world. So when you see things, or you see things on movies and TV, when you actually get there, it's totally different. So I pretty much, I never pass judgment or assume that Africa's a certain way, but, generally, like when people speak like about different things, like motorsports especially, it's all South Africa, or actually the most northern tip, not anything in the middle. So yeah, man. So that's great. That's crazy. You say like you're there and you look out your window and there's BMWs and cars, and people just kind of see things differently, man. So like being in Africa, man. So have you ever been to America before, or have you been to Japan before yet?
I've never been to Japan. I've never been to America, but I have some aunties. I'm relatives in America. Like, us people from Zimbabwe, something fun about us, we have lots of relatives outside Africa, some in Australia, some in South America, some in the United Kingdom, and yeah, so mostly Australia, United Kingdom, and America. Those three places, lots of Zimbabweans. Yeah.
Well, you're the first person from the continent of Africa on my podcast, man. So that's an Xbox achievement, or yeah. So I was talking to there was one girl called they were calling her the Drift Queen. She was she's from South Africa, and she was driving a BMW, and I forgot her name, but I forgot her name, but she was like, she pretty much would just do like the donuts and everything, and she wasn't really so much into drifting, but I was talking to her, but she never got back to me. Yeah. So I think it's her and like maybe 2 or 3 other girls that are doing kind of the same things with the BMWs. So I was going to talk to them, but we didn't. Yeah, we never got back up, man. But for you, man, like to be again, like what was the first time you seen drifting? When was the first time you got into drifting? And then like how did you pick up on Naoki and started following him that much?
Yeah. Okay, so let me start my story, but I'll warn you. My
Yeah,
story, I might look like I'm going
yeah.
that way, going through some scenery, but
That's
eventually
fine,
gonna
man.
come back this way, right?
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Think of it as like skiing, sightseeing a bit before we get to the
Mm.
destination.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, let me think about it. I've liked cars since I was a kid. Since before I could talk, I could use a computer at 2 years old. My parents always tell me that, and funniest thing ever. So I've liked cars. They used to say that when I was 3 years old. I actually, before 3 years old, two, one, two, three, I actually could wanted to only sleep in the car. Apparently, if you want me
Mm.
to fall asleep, you have to drive me around. Come back home, I start crying. Like I always wanted to be in the car for some reason, which is a weird thing because before I was born, my parents were involved in an accident. Two people died, and
Mm.
my dad got an injury. Some people got hurt and stuff. And like the car, basically the car was drifting. It was a 4x4 Land Cruiser. You know it, right?
Mm.
It was a 4x4 Land Cruiser. He was turning in the mountains. It's a very funny thing. He was turning in the mountains. The tire popped. It happens in drifting a lot. The car lost control, but then because the 4x4 it rolled and it's fun and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was 7 months in the womb, and that's what happened. So fast forwarding to when I was a young kid, the time I used to have this driver. That's just like an early stage of my life. I used to driven to school. I think I was third or fourth grade. I was driven to school. So apparently I didn't like him because he drove slowly, and I used to complain that I was a slow driver, which is another funny thing. So
Yeah.
yeah. Then when I got into cars now, when I was in sixth grade, I started watching YouTube videos a lot. Like I actually dropped watching TV. I started watching YouTube stuff because I found that more interesting. Like it had what I wanted. So I started by watching the Honda Civic. I used to love straight pipe cars. I just go and say straight pipe exhaust. And I saw there was 3 inch. And I listened to so I'm a bit of a
Yeah.
Honda
Yeah.
boy
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
heart. Because in Zimbabwe, there are lots of Japanese cars. That's a funny thing. There's lots of JDM,
Mm.
lots. And no one drifts. Like there's Chasers, there's Mark Twos, especially Chasers. You can actually, in a day,
Mm.
20 of them, driven by old guys, young guys. They just think it's a car. They don't even know it's the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so seventh
It's-
grade, I'm watching Honda videos and I'm watching these NM255 videos. I don't know if you remember them. Videos of these guys driving
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was nice. Started watching supercars, and what I hated most are those videos is the guy you could watch a car for 2 minutes waiting for something exciting to happen, and he just rev it once and then drive off. It used to get me so annoyed. I remember that. So he just rev it once, like this sucks. Got into Supra, started watching two step. That's when my mind got blown away. You know the two-step videos. I don't know how, but all of us have somehow gone through that phase. The Supra two steps. I watched Super Two Steps after Super Two Steps. I think it was about, I don't know, is this sixth or seventh grade? My friend gave me this DVD with this simulator in it. So for the first time, I managed to taste the experience of a simulator. It's called Live for Speed. It's an old one, old.
Oh, Live for Speed.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That was
L.
my first. That was the first simulator I played. Yeah.
You played it too with the AIs, and the
Yeah.
XRG,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
days. So I got that DVD. I drive around in the game, like that's how my life has been simulated. I drive around, like okay, it's interesting. Then one day I'm in the real drive car. I turn, it went sideways. I'm like, wow, so this is possible. This is interesting. This is interesting because back then I was used to just drifting on Need for Speed, and I used to tandem. It wasn't really tandem, but I'd go on the hood cam of the car. I'd be turning in with my cousin, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm a drifter. I'm a drifter." Just those Fast and the Furious things. But I don't. I'm just turning in the
Yeah.
corner
Yeah.
next to it. So yeah, I got my simulator. I played it, and I was so fascinated by it. I said, saying, "How does this work?" Because that's the mind I have. I don't understand how does something work. I tried it. I tried it. I tried it. I went on the internet. Then I said, drifting. That's when everything just started. That's when everything started. I somehow skipped the drift Bible. I didn't know it existed. 2 years later, I just
Mm.
watched videos of how to drift. Random guys that I can't even remember right now. I watched the videos. I just download. I downloaded everything right now. That's why now I've got this hard drive with about 500 gigabytes of drift videos. drift.
Oh yeah,
It's got
yeah.
thousands and thousands and thousands. Yeah. So I did that.
So so
Yeah.
so they're in where you're from. Are you the only one that's into drifting, or do you have like any friends around you that's into drifting as well?
Funny thing about that is when I was in Zim, I was the only person who was. So people used to actually say, "What this is movie stuff. This is not real." They thought it was just CGI
Mm,
graphics and things like that. So there was
yeah.
no one. There was no one. I was literally the only person, and I loved that. That feeling of being unique was bad and good at the same time.
Mm. And like the have you? I'm pretty sure like you've seen like Initial D before. I just got to ask you that you watched Initial D, the anime.
Honestly, yeah, I think 2017 I got the movie. I didn't know about that was the anime episode. I watched the movie and thought I was done with it. But then last week, actually,
Yeah.
I downloaded, but I haven't started watching it. I'm yet to watch.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The
But
movie is the movie is bad. The movie is very bad because they
oh,
use they're not Japanese. They're Korean and like Korean and Chinese actors, and like it kind of it's like if you take a Japanese samurai movie and then you
yeah,
put like Chinese or Korean. It's like why wouldn't just use Japanese people
I
because it
know.
makes it more like real. Yeah, but yeah, the anime definitely start from the first. It's really good, and for me, yeah. So so they have there's the first stage, second stage, then there's the third stage is the movie, and then after the movie it goes to the fourth stage with Project D, and then there's some other stuff after that. So it's good for you because everything is out, so you can watch everything all in 2,
Yeah,
4, 5, maybe 5 days. So it's like Netflix. You just go to the next. And for me, I didn't find Initial D until college. I was 2003, and Initial D came out in 1998. So when I watched it, I watched the first three in I think 2 days. So I just watched one, the next one, the next one, the next one, and it's really good because it's an anime, but
yeah,
Keiichi Tsuchiya, Tsuchiya's son was the advisor for it. So the Hachiroku. It's a little bit of fantasy because it wouldn't beat all those cars, if the drivers were both equal. But
but yeah,
Tsuchiya's son, he didn't allow it to go like crazy. So it's some real things in there, the stuff in there. Nothing is like unbelievable, like Transformer stuff. It's real stuff.
that's
If a driver
actually
is real, yeah. So definitely check that out, man. After you watch everything, I'll talk to you and I think is very good for you, man. So kind of moving a little forward, man. So you got into drifting, man. Like what got you? Because I mean, you started a page, talk pretty much with details Naoki's technique. Like what drew you to of all the drifters? Not Daigo, not Nomura, not Taniguchi, not all these guys. What got you following Nakamura? Yeah.
funny because I used to be a Formula Drift lover. I started out
Oh.
watching Ryan Turk. They used to call the show Turk.
Mm.
I watched it every time because
Yeah.
every time I felt demotivated by my surroundings, I was just drawn towards watching. It just gave me this hope that one day that type of hope. So I watched Ryan Turk. I was a Formula Drift lover. I loved Forrest Wang and Ryan Littrell.
Mm.
I remember those guys. Ryan
Because
Littrell.
they,
I
they
don't
have
know.
they have they have good style. They got good style. That's probably why you like
For
them.
one thing, the engine sound. I was crazy about sound.
Yeah.
Especially RB. Ah man, I'm crazy about RB till this day. I even used to watch your videos.
Mhm.
That's the funny thing.
Oh
Because
yeah.
when you had an RB, I'm
Yeah,
like, wait,
man. Hey guys, with the social media, Instagram, all that stuff out there today, nobody's really buying magazines like they used to buy back in the day. So the guys out there who want to buy magazines, definitely check out PinkuStyleStore.com to get the latest Drifts and Goku right here and the latest option magazines. Pinku Style is a certified, authorized dealer of both of these magazines. When you buy them from other places, they're just buying them from other people like me, and then they sell them like not illegally, but they're not. certified or whatever. So if you want to get subscriptions and everything, just message me at downloadpinkustyle.com. If you want to go ahead and get just get back catalogs back to about 2018, 2019, and get them that far back, and I'll just get me the subscription number, and I'll get back at you with a price and everything. So again, check out download@pinkustyle.com for any business stuff, and also pinkustylestore.com to see what magazines I have available and to place those orders. Thank you guys. Yeah. Well, I've been around for a little bit, man, but it's just, I'm not. A lot of people know me, and a lot of people don't know me, so it's like whatever, man, But like again, Naoki, and of course, you probably, you've seen the things where my business is called Pinku Style, and his team or is like Pink Style. So people who like, you watch the Mito video, so you understand the difference between it. Some people who don't know, they don't know that my business was around before that happened. So, it is what it is. I'm a shop here. I know, me and Nakamura, we've met before. He doesn't speak English. I don't speak great Japanese. So we don't, it's not like a great conversation, but no, Japanese also are very shy people. Yeah. He doesn't, man. His mind is like drift, man. It's just like, yeah. So anyway, man. So how did you find? When was the first time you seen Nakamura drifting?
Well, yeah, I had the Daigo Saito page. It got removed because it was a big page. It was like people actually. Do you remember a page by Daigo Saito that used to call that on Facebook?
I didn't really follow. I never followed. Yeah.
Because my account, I just post videos of him because I had many videos of him. And then I started, they told people messaged me like, I think it was Sherilyn Hale. I don't know if it was the sponsor of this or something. She told me, tell people this is a fan page because people were just sending me friend requests. It was just crazy. I was 13 years old. I'm like, why am I having all these friend requests? People think I'm Daigo. I'm like, okay, I moved it to a page.
Okay.
Called Daigo Saito and Japanese drift videos. I used to post videos there. The page got removed, and a lot of stuff happened, and then eventually I watched Daigo Saito and Formula Drift again. We started losing. I'm like, the interest started to fade away. Like, I was like being a fan of someone, you watch them lose and stuff. Like, no, just in denial, like, no. Then that's when I ran into Naoki. I had this car on LFS because most of my stuff is from simulators. This Nissan Silvia on LFS. And I was like, I can't copy Daigo's throttle and how he drives because I don't know, I can't make that Daisy sound. LFS is like, it's hard. So I started making my own car sounds, and then boom, I ran into a video of Naoki, Rough Smoke video, Naoki, Nico circuit on board, driving Mickey's car because he loves driving Mickey's car at Nico. I don't know why it's always like that. And that's how I ran to Naoki. It was not.
Oh, what year? What year was that video when he was driving Mickey's car?
I think it was 2015. It was a 2015 event. That's
that event that was like King of Asia. So that event was my first professional drift event. So and that was the event where he was chasing Daigo, and Daigo had like the 1,000 horsepower chaser, and Naoki won first place in that event. Daigo won second place. And third place was a guy named Wataru Saito, another Saito, Wataru Saito, who I lost to him in the top 16. So so that's crazy, man. Like that video that got you into Naoki was also my first professional drift event, man. So we got some ties there, man.
I remember seeing you in that video. I'm like, oh yes, he made it here. I'm like, yeah, finally one of us is that.
Yeah, man. It was Japan is is cool to be here, man. That's just once you get the ability to get over here, man. Definitely, like I was telling Mito Matt, man, like all you got once you get here, man. Like we have cars here, man, and everything, and it gets you in there. So have you like I'll ask you that later, man. So finish your story on Naoki, man. So I'll ask you that about that later.
Okay. So one thing I wanted to ask you about the event, like out of all drift events I watched, everyone seemed so happy. The French drifters, like that looked like the beginning of something that could be really amazing. What happened? Like I just looked like everyone was so happy from that video. Like everyone was just happier than others.
It was a good it was a good that event was really it was even though it's competition, the event was very well run. Normally like the D1 events and things like that, they're there's a lot of money, so the entry fee was low. So D1 GP, for example, if you want to enter D1 GP, it's like 5,000, 6,000 US to enter
Whoa.
to enter the event.
Whoa.
Yeah, $5,000. So like everybody, that's a lot of money, and everybody wants to win because first place you get like roughly three, like in American money you get, well, yen is 3 million yen. In American money it's about 3,000, well, roughly $28,000 US for first place, and then it goes down. So it's a lot of money, and so everybody's kind of somewhat friendly, but it's really competitive. It's not really a fun environment. It's business, But the King of Asia one, while people want to win, but also the entry fee was only $280 or $300. It wasn't like a lot of money.
Yeah,
and it was more. Yeah, yeah, and also it was the first event with Suchiya with that one, so it was just it was a different environment, and it was my to be my first professional event. It also was the it was to have Suchiya-san there, after all those years of watching Drift Bobble, and to have him as judging the event, it was pretty cool for me. But yeah, man, so that was pretty cool. But for you, like, have you done any real drifting yet in an actual car, or only simulation?
Simulation, and on my simulator, I have a handicap which people never notice. I literally don't have a wheel. I use a mouse and the keyboard. So if I tandem in,
oh really?
They're really shocked, and that's what actually drew me towards Naoki, because I couldn't have that controlled throttle that JZX drivers have. Naoki's like wild. So like, you know what? If I could, like, I went to the sound tuner and tried to tune me some. And that's when I started listening to throttle techniques, because I wanted to specifically get that. And that's where it all started.
Mm. So that's great. So you use a mouse. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's like, because even with a controller, even with like a USB controller, it's pretty, you can get to learn it, man. But mouse, that's got to be difficult to do that. So Lift for Speed is where you started from. Are you using like a Seto now, or like what's the Lift for Speed?
Now I'm literally on my phone, the Car X1, not two. I don't like.
Oh,
I'm on Car X1 with the throttle bar, the clutch bar, and I just use it to analyze how lines and stuff work. Physics may be different, but when it comes to line physics, you actually can say they're like line is line.
Yeah. Yeah, Car X is pretty good. I was actually shocked how good Car X2 was on PlayStation, because it was like $20 on the PSN, like it was a sale, so I downloaded it and I was like, man, this is actually really good, because I'm really critical of drift games. Like the one that came out was called Drift 19, and then they changed it to like Drift 21. I really didn't like. It looks really good. It looks amazing, but the physics are really bad.
I know,
really bad. I'm not sure if.
I know.
Yeah. So no, but this is actually it was a port from it was a ported game from it's supposed to be an app, and then now it's a console game. But the controls are just really bad. They got a Bisu, actual real Bisu circuit, the Toge course, the Manami, but the looks are great, but the controls are just really bad, man. So it just kind of turned me off to it and everything. And they went to a Bisu and laser scan the track, so it's the actual size of the Bisu. And
I used to get so mad. I used to get so mad being on R Factor and LFS, and the scale was completely different. And I'd be like, they have got scale ever, but our scale sucks. So I used to feel like that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But it's cool, man. Like I said, like it's so. In like kind of going back, man. So in Africa, there, like, are you like I didn't ask, man. What's your age, man? How old are you?
I hope I'm the youngest from the show. Yesterday was my birthday. I turned 20, meaning the Naoki admits more teenager.
You say you just turned 20?
Yeah, yesterday.
Happy birthday, man! Yeah, that's cool. Actually, the reason why I'm like not rushing, but actually right after I leave here, my first son's birthday is today. So your birthday is March 9th, and my son is March 10th. That's pretty cool, man. So my firstborn son is birthday is today. So I bought him some Yeah, I bought him some Skylines, and we're gonna go home and eat some cake or whatever. But yeah, man. So 20, man, 20 years old. So what do you? Are you a student at school, or are you working, or what do you do there for a living?
Right now I'm actually a student, mechanical engineering,
Okay. Oh,
and
nice, nice.
yeah, and something you forgot about March is in March I found out yesterday. Before I knew that my birthday was between Daigo and Naoki's birthday. Right, Naoki is the 14th, Daigo is the 9th. On the second, I think there's Ian from Valino Tires. The second or fifth, I'm not sure.
Mm.
And then on the 24th, there's a guy called Jonathan. These are my friends who drift there in South Africa. We'll talk about that later. And it's about
Yeah.
I think 2,000 kilometers away. It's Cape Town. And there's also another person, there's
Right.
Shane Bingham. You know Shane? Very, very close.
Yeah, I know
Very,
Shane.
very close. Very,
Yeah.
very close to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So all of us in March like
oh,
that.
oh, that's crazy. So hold on. So you said so Daigo's birthday is when?
I think
March.
it's on the 7th of March. Shane's on the 5th. And
What?
the second, then Ian's on the 2nd, and then Naoki's the 14th, and the 24th is my friend Jonathan from Cape Town, from Grassroots Drifters.
Yeah. Well, I got one more for you, man. My birthday is March 26th, man.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's crazy, man. I didn't know that. Man, it's just I never. That's one thing I never look up is people birth dates. I just see it on Facebook because I got to add you on Facebook too, if I didn't already. But Facebook is the only way I know birth dates, man. Because you it's like phone numbers now. We got all cell phones, so nobody remembers phone numbers
Yeah, bro,
anymore.
there's so many people.
Yeah, yeah. So that's crazy, man. Like that's your birthday, my son, Daigo, Naka. All these guys are, like if we look on, it's like a lot of people in March, man. So yeah, my birthday is March 26th. I'll be 38. Yeah, I'll turn 38 years old. And yeah, man. So, but yeah, man, that's cool. You're engineering, so you're definitely gonna. Yeah, man, that's cool. So what in school? What year are you in school right now? How many what year in your school?
Yeah. With my education, actually skipped the last 3 years of high school. And yo, man, it's a long story. One day we'll talk about like a life story because
Nah,
I've
man,
been to
that's cool. Yeah, that's
over 8 school.
yeah.
I've been a student of over eight
Man.
schools.
Wow. So when at what age what age do you start to why so many schools? Is that normal there, or is it just because you move around a lot? Or?
It was a combination of like family's financial, where we were financially was falling,
Gotcha.
and also moving a little bit. So when you think things are like this, go to this school, you need like, okay, it's a bit too much. Then but it's like a perfectly positioned way to make my life turn out the way it is now. Like people should not look down. A quick saying. People must not look down upon like the certain things they went through in the past, because if you didn't go through those things, these positive things you have now and this character you have now, you never would have had. You never, and it's gonna work out. So people gotta stop.
Yeah, man.
Looking down in their life.
Yeah. That's why that's why I mean, like, when you sent me the video, I hope it didn't come across wrong, but that's why I want to, even though I know like you got the Naoki page and you got a lot of knowledge on that, I just want to know about you, man, because that's everybody, a lot of people know about Naoki by way of your page, and you put out a different video like last week where it was showing like I think wall taps or something like that, and Naoki was in there a lot, and I think my video from the R33 at the MSP was in there. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah.
You recorded the first Naoki MSP video. Do you remember that video of him versus Kohashi? Because you recorded it, right?
I'm not sure, man. I think the first time Nakamura came, I don't know. The first time Nakamura came to MSP, I was in Iraq, so I wasn't there for that event. So yeah, I'm not sure who recorded it, but I normally I don't record anything. Like I'm either there driving or I'm not there, so I don't go to drift events to watch. I can't watch, man. I have to drive. So yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I watched many.
Yeah, so Nakamura. Yeah, every time Nakamura came to MSP, I was either in Iraq or I was just like doing business stuff. So the last 5 years with the business stuff, man, I haven't really been. I just been focused on growing my business. So I really haven't been drifting much in the last 5 years because it's kind of expensive to spend money for tires and gas and crash the car, and then I got to take that money to put to my family and to business. So, but this season, I got 2 cars coming back, so I will be out there more and everything. And I want to get down to Meehan because I never drove that track before, but
That's far
it's
away,
pretty
right?
good, man.
Quite far from.
No, not from it's me Osaka about from where I'm at right now about actually about 11 hours down south. But I drive all the time. Tokyo, like I always go to Tokyo in Yokohama, which is 8 hours, 9 hours. So in the military, I drove tractor trailers a lot. So driving long distance, I put on I put on a podcast from like Joe Rogan and I drive down there, man, and I watch maybe 2-3 podcasts and other drift videos and things like that, and I get there. So, but yeah, man. Anyway, man. So you got the engineering degree, man. So I don't know anybody who's an engineer that don't have a good job, man. So definitely once you finish school, money will be good, and then you're an engineer, so you'll be able to you'll be able to engineer your own parts. So what kind of mechanical engineering or fluid dynamics or
diesel engines, yeah, because apparently they're especially scarce mechanics for that car. And I was just like, okay, people are just pushing me towards that direction. Like anything to do with cars, I'll drop the science and the.
Oh yeah.
So I left school at 8.
Oh,
about 10th grade. That's when I moved to South Africa.
Oh.
They told me I have to go some years back because of syllabus differences. Because in Zimbabwe we do Cambridge. This is the United Kingdom.
Okay.
People don't know we do Cambridge. Okay? That's why the English in Zimbabwe and some other African countries.
Yeah.
So I dropped that.
Diesel is even better. Yeah. Safety is vital. A lot of guys out there want to add all the horsepower, add all this other stuff out there, and a lot of people skimp on safety. The one thing you can't skimp on is safety if you want to stay on the track. You want to stay alive. My safety equipment provider is none other than Bridge Moto, Alan Newsom. So you guys want to go ahead and check out bridgemoto.com to get the latest in gear, the latest in safety stuff, and the latest in advising if you want to set your car up for FD, whatever else in the States and things like that. Bridge Moto got you. SFI, FIA spec stuff right here. I got the ultraviolet, pink. This is going to be the stitching. This is going to be an outside external stitching, which makes a nice smooth feeling inside the glove. Makes it easier to drive. It feels a better direct contact with the steering wheel and such forth. Things like that. So also for the towing thing, of course, you crash sometimes and everything. So when you crash out there, got to make sure you got that nice toe strap, the nice long one. So you got nice arrow, you got a short toe strap. And what happens when the guy hooks up the truck, he goes and pulls your stuff, and now your bumper comes off. This guy right here, it allows you to tuck up in there, bolts to a nice fixture right here, all still fastened properly. You got a hook right there for the toe to hook to. And then, of course, you can actually roll this up, tuck it up in your bumper and such like that, so you don't have that awkward toe hitch or toe hook sticking out your arrow anymore. And also some regulations actually prohibit it now because they don't want you to make contact with the car, say if you're chasing close and things like that when you switch back and it smacks the arrow and stuff like that. So again, go ahead and check out bridgemoto.com and check out those guys for all your safety gear. Diesel is even better because like diesel is all the trucks, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing in Africa, all the delivery trucks that deliver food and goods is all diesel. And in America, diesel mechanics is really good money too. So to be a diesel
mining equipment too.
Yeah. So to be and again in the Air Force, I drove tractor trailers. That's what I did for 6 years in the military. So in Iraq, we drive. In the military, we have our own delivery system. We drive up and down Iraq to like pick up ammunition and deliver things and everything. So I've always been around diesels and trucks and everything. And so yeah, man. That's anyway, man. Once school's finished, I know for sure you're gonna be over here in Japan because you're gonna have all the money to afford it and all that stuff like that. So once you come to Japan, man, just send me a message, man, and I'll arrange the cars so you just show up and you can drive, man. Too easy. So I already got the cars here. No problem.
Yeah, because you and Spirit JP and some people in Australia, something called Drift School by the guy's name is Bubble. Yeah, people are so nice. People have been so nice to me. Like you mentioned it, he mentioned it, Matthew Steele mentioned it, Shane mentioned it. Like people, it's like
man.
Years, man. When you have a page like that, advice to people: focus on building relationships with people too. Don't just post videos and go on and off. Talk to people because this is a community.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, man, I'm pretty. I mean, I don't know of anybody else in Africa that's like you. You're probably like the number one drift fanatic in Africa, man. The whole continent. I don't, it's like I don't know anybody else that if because if they were like, I mean, Mito mentioned you, so I know that there's a few girls that they do they I think they call it stunning or something like that.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
those people actually aren't really into drifting. Like drifting in Africa, in South Africa, is it stays for the rich guys who own BMW workshops, Mercedes. German
got
people
you.
like German cars. Most of them usually go to drifting, and they have their own things. It's like it's scarce, but then there are these few guys in drifting that you have to know about. Like I really have to mention these guys. They're in Cape Town,
Mm.
which is near. What can I say? It is near places where you can like do stuff. Well, how can I forget the word? We can import and export stuff. So it's around that side, near the sea. Yes,
Got you.
they're in Cape Town, called Grassroots Drifters. There are many members, maybe about 5 or 6. Shane put me into contact with one of them. His name is Jade. I need Jade, Jonathan. So if you're on Instagram, at Grassroots Drifters, those guys are really amazing. Jade, Jonathan, there's Heinz, and the Akansen Bracken. I don't know the name, but yeah, those are the main guys that are like in Cape Town. They do their own thing. So they keep drifting their cars, the location in Zimbabwe, Jade. So they'll be street drifting, and they've got 186. One's got one JZ 186, and that one JZ is from Naoki's S14. There's one JZ, like it got passed from
Oh yeah.
so identical. There's an SR. Like I'll send you the page on Instagram. Just to get the account, they have
Yeah,
some
yeah,
really nice Kansai because they love Kansai more than anything. So they just look like Mayhan in South
yeah,
Africa. And yeah, those are my bros. I
yeah,
love those
man.
guys.
That's just crazy, man. Like, cause again, you don't. It's like it would be similar to like I mean, South Africa. Africa it has civilization there, but it'll be like if you were in Antarctica. Like nobody lives in Antarctica; it's only there for study. So if there's a guy in Antarctica like with a Facebook page like following Daigo or whatever, it's crazy because nobody else is really there in Antarctica. Or like if that's a bad example. So let's say like if you're in Greenland, Greenland is not. I don't know anybody from Greenland personally that drifts. So like if you're in Greenland and you're an enthusiast about something in Japan, and it's pretty cool, man. A pretty cool thing because almost everybody who drifts everywhere else, they know Daigo. They've seen maybe Nakamura before. So those guys just kind of stick out. There's millions of drifters, but everybody knows those because they got the most videos. And they got the most, wins for championships, and they're really good, at competition drifting. So
Naoki is the
yeah,
most
man.
recorded drifter in the world. I don't know if it's because he drives a lot or people love him, but I can post a different video of him every day from different people and
Yeah,
years and have 6 camera angles of him in one run. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
yeah. I think it's his style, man. His style again. I don't know him personally, but the style is he just he only I think it's because he stays like in his lane. Like a lot of people, they worry about what this guy is doing, what this guy is doing. Different. They worrying about different people. For him, his focus is only how good could he be at drifting, and I could see that just by how he carry himself, and and also like he got in trouble with the police. I know you know about that stuff, and he lost his license, but he was a D1 sponsored driver and he had tons of driving time, but he still wanted to do more practice on the mountains. So he's like, some people, yes, drifting for him is just life. That's all that matters to him. Drifting, nothing else. What I mean? I love drifting too, but I got you.
You love
Say
drifting
again?
too, but no, you can tell me you love drifting, but
No. It's drifting is just like one part of my life. I mean, I'm really good at it. I built the business somewhat around it because I don't have a lot of drift things, but it's just for him only drifting. Me, I got my business. I got I'm into martial arts and different things, but it's still up there in the top things that.
It's huge, man. You look like
Yeah.
power vehicles. I was like, is this a beast or what? I saw the car lineup and like, man,
Yeah,
people have to check you
yeah,
out.
yeah. Well, I played American football before, before the military, man. So you have to be, kind of. I mean, Africa, I'm pretty sure they got rugby there, but yeah, football is pretty sports. Before I got into racing, sports was really big with me and everything. So I don't lift, and also I used to lift a lot of weights to get bigger. but I don't. Yeah, so I'm about the. So in Africa, you guys use kilogram for weight, right?
Yeah.
So I'm about 100 and maybe I think 120 kilograms is my weight. 120,
That's your body
125
weight.
maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that's about how much
Oh
my weight.
no.
So yeah,
People who don't know about weight, like the average guy you see, like a normal guy doesn't work out. Just know that guy weighs about 45 kilograms, 55 kgs. I weigh about 65
yeah,
when I'm bulked. I think 70 and I'm bulked up, and then I'm like ripped and stuff. I weigh 64. So when people hear
yeah,
70 something, just know this is a big man, man. He's a big man.
yeah, yeah.
Not bad,
Nah,
but he's big.
it's always shot. Yeah, when I go to drifting, man. When I go to drifting, it's like not only I'm like I'm maybe one of like far as there's not a lot of black guys that drift here. So
Um,
when I go to like if I go to like when I go to Mihan for the first time, I don't know if there's any of the black guys that been there. Maybe they have, but I go there. Then I got all the pink on, and then the mohawk, and then they like, well, can you drive? And then they see driving, and after the driving, they come over to talk and everything is check out the car. But every time I go to a new track, I have to make like new friends
and
because
we drive,
they don't
we
know.
drive unique cars. We
Yeah,
drive an RB, R30. No many people have got R30 to drive those things, drift those things. They really drift them and they're not recorded on camera
yeah,
because it's speed drifting and stuff like that. But on track, not many R30
yeah.
drift. RB, I love
Yeah, it's all good, man. Yeah, RB is definitely good engine, man. A lot of Jay Z is good too, but I like all the I work on all the engines because my customers, 4AG, 4G 6G 7.2, all the engines, and like you, Honda is where I started. Honda
Oh,
was my first. Yeah, so my first engine swaps were like a Honda, the EF Civic, EFSI, like the B18, the ZC swaps. So I started my life with the Honda tuning for like the first 4 years. That's all I did, Honda, and then I got into drifting, and then
oh.
I got the 240 S13. But Honda is where I started. That's where I learned how to work on cars. So yeah, man, Honda, and I just picked up an EF maybe 4 weeks ago. So I'm gonna put an H22 turbo in it, and I have a
Wait, did you
NSX and I have a S2000. Yeah,
did you say
yeah, man. So
NSX?
it's yeah, it's an NSX NSX NA1.
Oh,
It's a shell. So yeah, so I have to put it back together. So it was a small accident, and it's nothing major, but they junked the car. So
yeah, next
I
time
gotta
just
buy all the
power
parts.
vehicles. You are power vehicles
Yeah, man.
of.
Now Power Vehicles is Andy Gray, man.
Yeah, I know
That's
that.
good,
But
man. So that's
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, Power Vehicles, they're a whole different out. They're my buddies, man. They're a whole different type of business. My business is more. They do performance, but my business is performance and everything, man. But anyway, like yeah, man. Again, I'm looking forward to like once you you get done with school, like, and how much more school do you have left to get your degree, or how many more
Uh,
years? Maybe 4 years or
with me, let's just say maybe because right now I'm not a student right now. I'm actually waiting for like the Corona stuff because it's been on and off. So I'm like
ah.
here until maybe halfway through the year. I'll just see how things go. But yeah, I've actually been chilling at home for the last since last year March,
Mm.
and I'm pretty used to
So
it.
how
Yeah.
yeah, how was I mean, that's another. I kind of don't really. I don't talk about Corona in the beginning of the podcast because it makes my YouTube. If you say Corona too many times, it makes a flag on your video, so you can't say Corona. But yeah, since we're in the video now, like how's life been there for you since last March? Yeah.
Yeah, I live in the hood. Like I actually live in a hood, like sort of like the hood. But in South Africa, I live in Soshanguve, which is a big place. You know, there's the rich areas. It's like one hood, but it's just so big. It's like some you'd say it's half a city. Yeah. So with me in South Africa, like some of the most rebellious people in the world, because whilst most people were in lockdown, they were out partying, doing burnouts. Like we do things in levels. Level 5 was the first. You know, they are crazy. Level 5 was the first part of Corona. So we called it level 5 here, around here. Level 5, the first day, everyone, as soon as everyone woke up, they're all in the house. We're told the soldiers going to come because the only way to discipline people around here is to send soldiers on. The cops, they don't care about cops. They're scared of cops. They're like Russia. So like, yeah, people were looking like, where are the soldiers? Within 2 days, things were back to normal because they didn't take it seriously because they didn't see anyone dying or anyone sick and no one was being tested. So like, you know what, this is the hood. They're just like, man. So people were there. Level 4, people were already like level 4 looked like Corona was over. Let me avoid saying that word. Don't you get
Yeah.
like, but yeah, people around here are
Yeah.
quite
So not.
crazy.
Yeah, man. So that's crazy, man. So it's like again, you're the first person I talked to from the continent of Africa. So I've talked to Mito in Europe, and I talked to a few people in Europe. I haven't talked to nobody in South America yet. So pretty much, and I got a guy from Vietnam coming on probably next week. He's a student in Vietnam. So kind of like same. Yeah, he's into like cars and everything. So he asked me a bunch of questions, and I forgot his name, so I'll talk to him next week. But it should be a cool podcast, like just like this one. But yeah, man, it's you're the first guy I talked to from Africa, so I was just kind of curious
Yeah,
of
I
how it's
mean,
going there. And so
yeah. This is like try like with Africa, it's gonna be really tricky because it's like you swear that different worlds. So I'm at the South African, Zimbabwean, Botswana world. So that's what I know about. The rest, which is like 75% or 60, I don't know much. Some of them come and actually called
yeah,
foreigners, which is a bad African thing. Some guy will come from his city, like that's different. Like these guys called Nigerians. They have this accent like, what are you doing? What is going on? What is this? What is this? They have this really basic accent.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't like that. I don't like that. Loud guys, they're always shouting, but that's how they speak. And they're honest. Like their honesty is crazy, man. It's Nigerian people. You straight up tell you, I don't like you. You just come up to you, I don't like you. Like doesn't like you, tell you straight up. It doesn't lie. They're like soldiers in a way. I
yeah.
don't like you. I don't like you. And then he walks away. You're like, oh,
Hey man, that probably that would work good for me because again I'm not it's a big thing, and again for and I want to ask you a question about how do you I was gonna say so like you being actually African and me being African American, man, how is it how do people from Africa view African Americans,
oh,
and what do
man,
they, yeah, what do they think about, yeah.
man,
No, please be honest, man. Like, just let me know how it is, man.
there's this one guy, he called him TFLA or something. He's always doing reviews in American, South African videos. And he's got like quite a big following there. So some people know him by YouTube. But with how we view America, you should thank the trap. You know trap music, right? The new music
Yeah,
that come up with the fun, the ones that sound like notes.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that thing actually produced beats for such guys too. That produce beats, and that's another story. I do a lot of stuff which is weird, man.
Mm,
So yeah, the trap industry. So in South Africa, let's say 50% of the population, they speak so many languages in South Africa. South Africa is not my home. I'm a foreigner around here too. So they speak lots of languages. Afrikaans, they have Afrikaans accent. Maybe you've had the accent. How I'm gonna talk to you is via accent. With Afrikaans, it's like a Dutch, German way. So even when they speak in English, they have this accent like, "Oh, my bra was walking down the street." They have got this weird way of like, what is
yeah,
that?
yeah,
My
yeah.
bra? Yeah, those are the colored people, mixture of black and white. They're a bit like they look Latino, like more of people. So there's the colored.
Got you.
Xhosa, which is a Xhosa language, how they speak it. They say in Ndiathetha. Hey, it's gonna be hard because they sound the same to you. But there's Xhosa and Ndiathetha, Sakubona Bhuti, Zulu, and Ngiyakhuluma nawe. Then there's Ndebele, Ngiyakhuluma nawe. So they sound like the same language. Then there's Sotho, which is hard. So there are many languages in Africa. Like in different cities. I mean, Victoria, they all speak different, versions of the same language, but the languages are so different. So it's almost like it's different as Chinese and Japanese. My sister knows
Mm,
Chinese, but yeah, there's different as Chinese and Japanese. So how we view Americans is like through the trap music. Lots of people in South Africa, actually
mm.
students specifically, because get a guy with an American accent, you're asking yourself, why does this guy have an American accent? Like for some reason, you find him say, "Hey man, like what's up, man? I'm just going to the street." Like you seem like they like hip hop and stuff. Like there are a lot of guys like that. They just have that accent, like, and you can hear that they memorize it from music. You hear everything he says, like, "Oh damn!" And like, okay, what's going on? Is this, is this, this
Right.
talker or something like that? So lots of the accents and stuff come from music and movies. Like South Africa and Zimbabwe, that side, North Nigeria, we love America. We watch lots of movies. Like when you come to America, lots of people actually be surprised. Like, okay, like this guy called Trevor Noah. You know him? Maybe you might know him if you're still in America a lot.
What's it? One more time. Say his name.
Trevor Noah.
Oh, Trevor Noah. Yeah. Everybody knows Trevor Noah, man.
Oh, how much they know him a lot there? Yeah, he's South African.
Yeah, because he's on a night show and like his YouTube is he's funny and but he's also a very knowledgeable person. So he's like so every time somebody says South Africa, he's like first name that pops up. Trevor Noah. Yeah.
You talking about Trevor? Oh, you talking about Trevor Noah? Oh, I know that guy. I know me and accents. I don't know. Yeah. I know the guy. Trevor Noah. Yeah. So yeah. Those people know those people like Trevor Noah. Yeah. So like America is viewed like very highly in a weird way, and they don't know much at the same time. So it's like they love it, they don't know much, or they only know things from the movie. So for them to know it, they're like getting to drifting and start watching movies actually in South America. They see it like it's one city. We know it's not, but for some reason, the same way Americans see Africa, Africans and Zimbabweans see America as one city.
Yeah. It's like the movies, like you said, the movies. But like, so I say, again, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. It's East Coast, on the in America. So like, if I come to Africa, with me being that my skin is black and I'm a African American, is it would I be treated like differently, or like people kind of like be angry at me because I'm African American, or?
They actually don't get mad at you. They don't get mad at foreigners. They actually find you fascinating. At first, they'll look at you, and from looking at you. You look like a Zulu man, which are like they're tall. How tall are you, by the way? Just to confirm, how tall are you?
So in America, 5'10", so that's like 182 centimeter. I think 182.
Whoa, man, yeah, chief around here, man. You're like a prince, Zulu prince. This guy's called Zulu.
Yeah.
They don't learn other languages.
I think it's 182. I can't remember, man. I think it's 180, 180 or 182, like in between there, I believe. Yeah.
Oh no, Zulu. They're from Johannesburg. I mean Victoria. So they're Zulu. They're tall men. They love BMW. And one weird thing about them, they have what's that word called, by the way? You have some of them are polygamy, some, but it's like that's the culture. Some of them. So you find the guys maybe 3 wives and 10 kids. Like so they're like rich, they're tall, they're very proud. Like they're very, very proud men who don't learn other languages. They just speak in English in their language. You speak to them in any language,
got you.
Fly in their language. Like those are Zulu people. Like and there's crazy theft there. The theft there is crazy, man. They you can be walking in town but maybe a woman's got a weave. Women. Women want to look good. People want to look good, yeah. So yeah, you've got a weave on, walking the streets. Bunch of thieves grab it, they steal the weave. Brazilian weaves ahead.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna probably do one of those. What is it? The God damn it! I'm gonna probably do one of those this ancestry test and see where in Africa. I mean, because the technology is crazy, but it'll be crazy if you mentioned like some Zulu, but what if I'm maybe from that tribe or something, man? So I'll do that test and see. Yeah, see where. But again, the size, and then again, I got the red mohawk. They'll be like, what is this guy? Is he Jamaican? Is he? They don't know. What they don't know what I am. So it's.
If they hear your accent, they'll think you're an artist or a rapper, because we get lots of Americans. They say, the rapper, they think you're a rapper.
Yeah. That's again, man. This is exactly. We're definitely going to talk again, man, because there's way too much we could talk about in one podcast, and I do got to get out of here, man. But that's why you probably figure I was going to talk all about drifting. Again, I love drifting. I'm good at it, but life. You're mechanical, diesel mechanical engineer. I learned about, and then I learned more about your home.
I play some piano. I lift weights. I was once a personal trainer. Everywhere.
You do music, so I make music as well. So I got this is a full studio here. So I have I produce. I'm not a producer in music, but I make beats. So I do so my SoundCloud. I got. So I do because I'm East Coast. So I do what we call East Coast MPC. I use MPC. to make the
He
music.
live,
So like it's called boom bap style.
drum machines,
Yeah,
you know.
no, I got the yeah. So you press the buttons and everything. So I'll send you after we get done. I'll send you my music page and my I got some videos and things like that. And so music is I play trumpet and I do percussion and everything. So music was everybody likes music, man. But to make music is, you play piano. A lot of people can't play, and I'm self-taught, so I don't know how to play traditional, but I can make melodies and different things like that. But I'm
That's
not.
me, man. Beethoven.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I just know how to make the sounds blend, but I don't know what I'm doing. Like I never use the black keys, so it's just the
It's
white
like,
keys.
oh,
So
don't
it's
say C minor. That's me. I'm with that minor. Man, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's crazy though. You do music too, man. So like, we're gonna do another podcast, man, and because like normally I mean there's no time limit on it, but again it's like 5:30 p.m. here in Japan. What time is it there? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's, let me check on my phone. It's 10:24 a.m. So like everyone's just waking up.
So you still got your date, man.
Beach, you know.
Yeah, it's
like,
bright out there, man.
Let me show you something. You might want to see how the
Yeah,
streets of Africa look like. You know?
Yeah, man.
Let's go outside. Can you see anything? Can you see? Okay, that's a Toyota Hilux. This is a Mercedes. You can see what type of Mercedes that is. And this is in the hood. Like, let me actually.
You got palm tree. Is that? Yeah, man.
Let me just show you for a second before you go. Like, out of curiosity, like.
Yeah.
How it's like in Africa.
You showing all of YouTube, man. That's pretty cool, man. This is the first time I've been on a tour of Africa, man.
One day you have to, so like, yeah.
I'm definitely gonna come, man.
I hope you can see. Like, I live near this club, it's like a tavern or something like that. This is my mom's business. She sells, I was there. Where's Minnesota? There's a Mercedes right there, So this is like a ghetto. This is how the ghettos look like. We got some guys who come in and ballers. You can see Mercedes, they see a VW Polo, you can see a Peugeot, like, there's a street there. And there's lots of taxis called Quantum. We talk about those guys one day. They're crazy drivers, like there's a truck. Like, this is South Africa. And this is like one of the most poor sides of South Africa, which is Sosha. People actually in town here like, what? You live in Sosha, there's lots of air. There's lots of like poor people and like, that's what they think of South Africa. But yeah, and this is the house. Like, man,
nah, man,
it's crazy, man, crazy.
To me, it's cool because I'm from Baltimore City, and I'm not sure how much you know about Baltimore City. There, man, it's the inner city. We're like looked down. We're looked down by everybody else because we're in a city. So man, and then I've been to Iraq. So going to Iraq, man, and living there, I've been there for like 3 years. So like, man, for me, it's man, to me, you say like it looked like the ghetto, right? But for me, it just looks like it's like the sky is beautiful, is clear, it's blue sky, man.
Yeah,
like
man.
To me, and it's dry. There's no snow out there. It's like So I see
Cape Town, where my friends are at, like 2,000 kilometers away. 1,000 or 2,000, I'm not sure anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, I see it different, man. Because again, because I've been to Germany, I've been all around the world by the military, so I see, people who would think is like something bad. For me, I just see like opportunity, and it's different. So I think if you live in one place your whole life, like you don't get to see how other people live. So man, like
your mind.
I've seen other parts of yeah. So I've seen. I mean, I know we in America when we hear about Africa, only thing we see about Africa is they steal the money. They say like they're gonna feed the kids in like the poor parts of Africa. They never send the money there, and they show the shanty towns with the they're just like shacks and the
90.
It's like the Congo.
Percent of the people here have never been to that side, so it's like Africa doesn't really know each other much. Like, it's big, man.
Right.
Big. Don't travel much. I've traveled, but a lot of people don't travel.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. So like, that's what I mean. Like, so you're saying like people don't even see that part of Africa where they have like the huts.
You just see it on news, like they're like, what's going on there? People that actually happens in Africa. Like, it's like another place. Like, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. That means to hear from somebody, African, person from Africa, South Africa, and everything, man. And one last question, man, because I'm very intrigued about it. Then again, that's why we're gonna talk again. So you have the South Africa, right? Then you have like, South Africa? Then like, you have the northern African part. Is it pretty much civilization only like in a, well, I won't say civilization, but like, buildings and things like the southern part and the northern part? What about the middle? The middle of Africa is just pretty much desert, or what? How is that made up of?
At the bottom part of Africa, which is the south, right, where I am at, South Africa,
Right.
Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Botswana. It's quite more than like it's housing. It's like a normal town. It's a suburb, the town, the everything like that. And then the middle parts of Africa. Which cities are in the middle of my father was passing by? Which cities are in the middle of Africa? Kenya, Nairobi. That's Nigeria, like side, right?
Mm. What about where's Cameroon? Where's that at?
Where's Cameroon? Cameroon is West Africa. That's West Africa. Oh yeah, West Africa is where we see the war zones and all of those things.
Gotcha. Reason I asked about Cameroon because I'm not sure if you follow like because I do martial arts. Like Francis Ngannou is like about to be fighting for the heavyweight champion. He's from Cameroon, and he worked in assault mines and everything, and he comes from nothing, poverty, and now he's one of the most popular African people, man.
So the people who come this side, like with Africa, how we identify each other is by your accent and by your skin texture and all of that. Like, it's weird. We have these sensors in our mind. Like, just look at someone. Oh, he's from that part because it's a bit darker. Like, for some people in Japan, black is black, but that's light skin.
Oh no, I know the difference. I know what you're talking about, man.
You know these differences. So we hear the accent.
Yeah.
You see, like, okay, and they've got the character traits, and it's interesting, man. That's how it is. It's like,
yeah, I work with a lot. And when I was in Iraq, I worked with a lot of Nigerian guys out there because the Nigerian guys would go over to Iraq too for the the army. So like they were, and we're in the middle of Iraq, man, and the guys are like, man, why are these guys so happy all the time? Like they always smiling, always singing, always happy. And I'm like, dude, like you don't know where they're from, man. You don't know what their life is, and they have food every day. They have they can go watch movies every day, and they're in Iraq.
They're loud. They sound like they're fighting, right? When they're speaking.
Yeah, always, man. Yeah, dude. So, and then
they like that.
Yeah. So I would talk. I would talk to them, and they, we talk a little bit, and they like, oh man, I'm like, you're real African. I'm African American. Like you guys are 100%. I'm like, I'm mixed with maybe different things. So I don't know. I'm gonna do the ancestry test and see what part. If it can kind of tell me like what part of Africa did my people come from, because history stuff, I'm all about it, and the slave trade and all that stuff like that. We could talk about all that stuff later, but it's a real thing, and some people like they try to ignore things like that, and like this real, man. We got and there was also black owners of slaves too, not only white guys. It was black people owning slaves and selling slaves too. Say again.
Slavery still exists.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
I didn't even know. I thought maybe it was over or something. Like you see that.
No.
You don't know what's happening.
Still, yeah. Even in the modern world, man, it doesn't. You don't see like chains and whips and everything, but like if somebody's paying money, even sex workers, if somebody's paying money to make you do whatever, like that's like mental slavery too. So it doesn't have to always be. And also prison. Prison in America. Prisons are very big. That's slavery, man. Like they're using people to 25 cents for one day. They're making like license plates for cars. They're making sewing things, and they're using them for free labor. That's slavery, man. So that America, people think America is great, man, but America has a lot of issues, man. And I'm an American person. I like being American, but America is not perfect, man.
That's the thing with the world. The world is so big that if you aren't somewhere, like you have to learn that if you are not there, you don't know what's going on. You only know that little circle you're in, but outside that circle, everything is totally different. Like it's a big world we live in, much bigger than the phone or the screen or that. But until you've never been physically somewhere, you don't know the place. You don't know how people live in Japan.
Yeah, dude.
I'm close to Naoki and them and Shane and everyone, but I actually don't know a lot of stuff that actually happens on the ground. Like I'll be told things through podcasts, like, oh, I go to Shane because Shane is like one of my favorite people. Shane's always been talking to me way before the page. He's an amazing person, man. One day I gotta tell you about Shane. Shane is something else, man.
Yeah, man. I actually talked to Shane about. Yeah, I just actually me and Shane knew each other for a good amount of time, but we just met about maybe 4 weeks ago for the first time at Tsukuba Circuit. Like he was, I was next to Naoki's pit in Bainown, so we always talk online, but we just never. Shane's really busy, I'm really busy, so we just never been in the same place at the same time. So I look over and I see this tall white guy. I'm like Shane. Like I wave to him. Then we talk for about maybe 5 minutes, and then he had to go help Naoki. Yeah. So he was helping. He was doing pit crew for Naoki because Naoki was parked next to my guy Bainown in Japan, Rahman, who's another. He's from Bangladesh and he's doing really big things over here in Japan, man. So anyway, man, again, because it's good that, man, you're really easy to talk to. So we definitely got to do this again and just talk about more stuff, man. And people are probably mad because we didn't talk about drifting as much, but again, my aim was to to learn about you and everything and get to meet you, man. So when time allows, man, definitely when you get the chance to come to Japan, definitely let me know and we'll work things out. All you gotta do is show up, man, and then we got the cars for you, man. We'll get you to the tracks, we'll get you the cars, and we'll get you the lessons and everything, man. And it's all love, man. It's all good, and I mean, and then definitely after I get a little bit more my business a little bit more better, then I got my family. I got 2 more babies on the way, and so very busy with family, very busy with the business.
How many kids do you have? And how many kids do you have?
Total right now 3. I have 3. 3. So I got twins. Twins coming.
Jello.
Yeah.
What that means is jelly. Means I told you that. I can see 5 kids already. Come on, man. You better take that test. You gotta take it. I'm telling you, you could be Zulu.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the test, man. I'm gonna take the test and see where. I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe it's possible, man. But hey, man, again, brother, it's been good to talk to you. Again, very happy to meet you, and always again for the guys out there who are just watching the podcast, just listening and things like that. This man, there's so many people out there to meet, man. Just be open to people and give people a chance and everything. And things will work out, and just be positive, man. Again, I met you. If I didn't do the podcast with Matt, I probably would not meet you and everything, man. So it's good stuff, man.
And one day, man, we have to talk about drifting. Like there's so much because you see this book here, man.
Yeah.
You see this book. Like there's a year I didn't go to school, right? This is actually a big time. I don't know if you can see. Like this is 200 and what 90. These are 4 books. I got 4 books. I actually designed drift tracks. I literally sit down and I watch. I used to watch a video. It used to be annoying. I'd watch a video and then I'd actually start getting ideas. Like I fell in love watching the momentum of the car. Like I'll explain how the whole page works. How someone who's never drifted on a simulator with the wheel, but drifting with the mouse, never driven a real car. I drove a car once, but like how someone like that is like. One day you gotta talk about this. Like man, I do drift track. I do a lot in terms of drifting, man. Like my whole life just fell towards it. The music and stuff, recognizing chord progression, listening to vocalists. I treat the engine sound as like a vocal sound to my ear. I got sisters who sing. So it's like crazy things that just tie into drifting. That's how, it's a fun thing. I'm going to have a lot of podcasts with you. And one day I want to interview you because you have a lot of stories. Like interview you on your
man, definitely.
Podcast. People need to know more about you. About that. That's why I'm asking so much about you.
Yeah, man. The podcast is great because we kind of we talk, almost an hour now. I'm looking at my clock.
Yeah, man.
It's like it's hard to talk about our whole life because you're 20. You just turned 20 years old. I'm 37, and there's so much stuff in our life to this point. We just meet each other today. So there's so many things that happen.
Man.
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah. Well, hey, check what I'm gonna do, man. What I'm gonna do for you, man, because it's just one of the things, all the guys that come on my podcast, I'm really, really appreciative of all the guys who was on my past guests. I'm actually getting shirts made, and I'm going to send it out to those guys. What I'm gonna do for you, man,
Yeah, man.
because I got a lot of magazines. And again, man, I just want to spread the love. So what I'm gonna do is, like, the Drifting Goku magazines here, which I'm holding up.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I got tons of magazines that I get, like, nobody's buying it because everything is Instagram and Twitter. So magazines are really nobody. So what I'm gonna do, man, I'm gonna get you a package together of all the magazines I got, and I'm gonna send them to you, man. So just give me I'm gonna get your address from you and everything, and get those out to you. And it's like, all the magazines. So pretty much Naoki's in every magazine, so you'll be happy, man. So
that's famous.
And then I got it, yeah. So and I got a few magazines with me in it, so I'll sign it, I'll autograph it for you and send it to you and everything, man. So yeah, man, I'm gonna do that for you, and just because it's just, what I mean, I don't know, can you buy this magazine anywhere in Africa, or only you have to order it?
South Africa. In South Africa, Shane once tried to send me some packages. Apparently they bounced back, but I'll talk to my friends in Cape Town because they actually have some Naoki banners and stuff. Like, they actually look like a Japanese garage in the garage. So I'll talk to them and hear how they did things. And maybe things will go to them, and then things up like that.
Yeah. So the mailing. So like how's this another G Wiz thing, man? So if I mail you something there, does it come to your house, or does it go to like a post office, or you have to go pick those at work?
DHL. You know DHL, right?
So it comes. Yeah. DHL is worldwide.
Yeah. DHL.
So it'll come to your doorstep.
Yeah, you can work.
It'll come to your door. Yeah. So after we get done, man, just send me your address and everything, and I'll probably by the end of this week I'll get the package together and I'll send it out to you, man. I'll give you some stickers and things and everything, and it's just because, again, everybody who comes on my podcast, I really appreciate your time, and this is your time you're giving me right now for the podcast, and we'll do it again, man. But yeah, man, you're special, man, because again, nobody else that I really talked to they're really into it like that. They're into it, but you're really studying your stuff, man, and like to not ever be in Japan, like, more stuff about drifting and the techniques than guys who are in Japan. They're in Japan and they still don't know as much as you, man. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome stuff.
Drifting was
again. Yeah, man. So again, man. I hate that we're gonna talk again, man. So again,
man,
everybody out there is gonna be.
We'll talk. I'm free for the next few months.
Yeah.
We'll talk. Everything's okay, man. Enjoy your son's birthday.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Let him go home and play with him, man, and everything. But yeah, man. So I'm gonna put all your Instagram stuff and all your Facebook stuff. I'll put down in the links so the guys can check you out. So guys out there just watching and listening, just go ahead and go down to the descriptions, check out his page. He always putting up Nakamura stuff and just technique things and breaking down things that people may not see. They see a guy going sideways, but again, how Matt broke it down, man. There's different techniques to how you engage a differential, unlock a differential, the sounds and all that. And that's what we'll talk about the next time, man. The techniques and all that stuff, man. And you'll break it down and educate people, man. So again, guys out there, thanks for tuning in. Thank you for being a guest on the podcast and everything, guys. And again, also just make sure you subscribe, like, and share the podcast, get it out there and grow the page, and things will be better out there. So guys, with the Corona stuff, this is all, we already been in a year, so it's already a whole year with Corona living. So just make sure you get your stuff done. Make sure you've been safe, and just be smart about how you're proceeding out there. So again, and I broke it down right here, man. So I got Tapiwa. That's what I'm gonna call you, man. Yeah. I got my pink style one and my other ones down there. I got some other mask out there and everything. So yeah, man, we'll get that. So again, guys are there. Thank you for tuning in. It's gonna be Diane sign off from South Japan and Tapiwa from South Africa. See you guys later. Peace.
Peace, man.